Here we go with another snippet fic for Kingdom Hearts. Let's get to it. Sora took his diced onions and threw them into the pot, stirring them in with the rest of the ingredients. Tonight he decided to make dinner, which was a homemade chicken noodle soup. He had been staying at Merlin's house for the past couple of nights, having been separated from Donald and Goofy. One minute he was with them, and then the next, he wasn't. He decided to go to the one place he knew was safe, and that was Merlin's place in the burrow. So tonight, it had been cold and rainy, and he decided that a homemade chicken soup would warm everybody's bellies and do them some good. This recipe was a recipe his mom used to make him. Almost done, he said. He checked on the biscuits that were also in the oven, and they were also almost finished. They just needed a few more minutes to get poofy. Dinner was going great. Hey, a deep voice said behind him. What's cooking? Oh, hey, Cloud. Just in time. Dinner's almost ready. Tonight it's chicken noodle soup. I thought since it's been cold and rainy, it would be nice. Just what we've been thinking. In fact, we were gonna make a soup or a stew for dinner tonight. Oh? Yeah. I guess I read everyone's mind then. Guess so. Everything okay? Yeah. Why? Everything's completely fine. You can see right through me, can't you? Talk to me, kiddo. What's wrong? Sora sighed and turned back to the stove. He stirred the soup one last time and turned off the oven. He turned the stovetop off too, deciding to let the soup simmer as the stove cooled off. Little Chef said that was the secret to lots of soups. If you want it done just right, you turn the stovetop off at the right moment and just let the soup continue to simmer until the stovetop cools off. It leaves the soup at a perfect temperature, and all the rest of the ingredients cook very nicely. He then took the biscuits out of the oven to let them cool off a little. Past experience told him that Yuffie would just grab one even though they were piping hot, and she would immediately bite it out of instinct and burn her tongue. So he decided to go ahead and take them out to let them cool off a little. Sora then turned back to Cloud and wrung his hands nervously. Cloud stepped forward and broke his hands apart. Gentle with yourself, Sora. Right. It's just... You're worried about Donald and Goofy. Yeah. I mean, it's not the first time we've been separated. There were plenty of other instances. But you were hurt, and so were they. It was true. They were back at Halloween Town helping Jack with something, and all of a sudden the Heartless attacked. One particular Heartless they had never seen before, a ghost-type Heartless, attacked out of nowhere. The Phantom Heartless, they got the upper hand, and Sora, Donald, and Goofy ended up injured. Sora took most of it, but Donald and Goofy had some pretty good hits. They defeated the Phantom, but the Phantom decided to play one last trick on them before it disappeared and it separated them. Sora had gone back to Halloween Town and asked Jack if he had seen Goofy and Donald. The Pumpkin King hadn't seen them, not since they vanished. The Pumpkin King had offered Sora a place to stay until they could find them. Sora shook his head no, and decided to go somewhere safer. The Pumpkin King sadly wished him luck, and hoped that he would return after they found them. Sora just nodded and left. He thanked the Pumpkin King for everything first. I know it's hard, but you'll find them again. Yeah, I know, it's just... That's not all. What else is wrong? I can't help but feel hopeless and worthless as a Keyblade wielder. Sora. No, listen. I should have been better, okay? If I were a better master, if I could have passed my Mark of Mastery test, if I were better, I could have prevented this. But I'm so stupid, and I'm worthless, and... Cloud shook his head in disbelief. Where was the cheerful teenager he had come to know and love? Where was his little brother? This wasn't him. He grabbed Sora's chin and forced the boy to look at him. Now, Sora, you look at me and listen well. You are none of those things. You are not worthless, you are not useless, you are not hopeless, and you're an amazing Keyblade wielder. But screw the Mark of Mastery test. As far as I'm concerned, you have been and always will be a Keyblade master. That exam is just a bunch of nonsense. Who is Yin said to decide who is a master and who isn't? The Keyblade chose you, kiddo, and it chose you for a reason. Yeah. But it should have... No. It shouldn't have been Riku. It shouldn't have been Roxas. It shouldn't have been anybody. It chose you, and you only. Yes, there are other Keyblade wielders, but this one, it picked you, Sora, because it saw something in you. You think so? I know so. You don't think I'm... No, Sora. I think you're an amazing kid with amazing abilities. You'll find your way. You just have to make your own path. Make my own path. I told that to someone. Simba. I remember you telling me about that. Simba was lost. He wanted to follow in his father's paw prints. And you need to follow your own, quote-unquote, paw prints. You make the path, Sora. Not the Keyblade, not Yen said, not anyone. You. Sora just nodded. He couldn't speak without sobbing outright. Unfortunately, the sobs he was trying to contain ended up coming out. Cloud leaned forward and gave the poor boy a hug. Sora snuggled or nuzzled into his chest and just sobbed it out. For so long, he felt alone, worthless, hopeless, Donald and Goofy also meant well, but their teasing deep down kinda hurt. He just wanted to prove himself as a master, as a Keyblade wielder. Sure, he'd proven himself time and time again and saved all these worlds time and time again, but it seemed like no one took him seriously, as if he was just a joke to them. But here Cloud was. Cloud didn't think he was a joke. Cloud didn't think he was anything but his own master. His big brother. His big brother was right. He was a master. He wasn't alone. He wasn't worthless. He was worthy. He was more than worthy. He just needed to remind himself that from now on. All good, kiddo? Yeah, sorry for crying on you. Hey, we all need a good cry once in a blue moon. Even you, Mr. Badass? Even me. Here. He handed him a tissue. Dry your eyes, and let's get dinner on the table. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. Yeah? Good thing it's ready then. It looks like it's done simmering. Sora took a small dish, dunked it into the broth, and took a taste. Yeah, it's definitely ready, and it's at the perfect temperature. You guys are gonna love this, he said excitedly. Cloud helped him take dinner and put it on the table. Yuffie and Aerith have already set the table and were eagerly awaiting. Soup's on! Literally. Oh, Sora, that smells wonderful. It looks even better. Oh, and biscuits! Go ahead, Yuffie. They've cooled off enough so you won't get burned this time. Ooh, sorry, you're too good. And it tastes even better. Yuffie, manners. No talking with your mouth full, Leon said, with a look of dismay on his face. But Leon... Sid just laughed. Now, you young'uns. Behave yourselves. Sora, this is a lovely meal. Thank you. You're welcome. It tastes good. It tastes wonderful. Oh, yes, indeed. I haven't had soup this good in, forever. The last time I made soup, Arthur was just a young lad. Oh, yeah, Arthur. You haven't really told me about him. Could you tell me more, Merlin? I like listening to your stories. Oh, well, I say. Yes. So there was this time when little Arthur and I decided, and Sora, as he ate, listened intently to the story. It was true, he loved listening to Merlin and his goofy stories. Him and his adventures with King Arthur. Cloud looked at his little brother proudly. From now on, he had no doubt that Sora was going to do great things. But in the pit of his stomach, he felt something. Felt something wrong. And from now on, he was going to keep a better eye on his little brother. For something told him, something in his heart, told him that his little brother, he didn't want to think about it. He just wanted to enjoy dinner with his family and just listen. Ooh, that ending was a little ominous. Whew. I mean, I'm not Kingdom Hearts 3 who? I mean, alright guys, I'm done. That was some Big Brother Cloud and Little Brother Sora. Leon and Cloud are definitely the overprotective older brothers, and you will not take that from me. Like, you can pry that out of my dead, cold hands. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed this snippet, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!